It's that time of the month again where I talk about my language hours. It's like an update video kind of thing. Today it's nice weather, and so I decided I'm going to do this outside, walking about. And because of that, I don't have access, like live, I guess, to my hours spent. So I'm not going to be reading out the hours like exactly, but they'll be up on screen anyway for you guys to see. Essentially, from what I can remember from my language hours, my Spanish is at now over 100 hours, which is like a really good achievement for me to hit 100 hours in Spanish. 60 hours I think it was in Polish, 56 hours maybe in Japanese. I don't even remember how much in French, but essentially there are my language hours for those particular languages. And I mean, it's nothing different really. I've been doing the same thing I've been doing for the entire like other 6 months of the year. There's no point me going back over what I've already spoken about in like every other video that I've already gone over multiple times, because it gets a bit repetitive if I keep on saying what I do in each language. This month I've been slacking quite a lot, mainly because I've had quite a few different issues which have sort of just put me off of doing language learning for this month. The main one being that I had like a really bad back, especially like my lower back. My lower back was just essentially really injured. I'd messed it up because I'm not even exactly sure what I did. Maybe I lifted too much weight or something. Essentially my lower back really caved in, and because of that I was literally bedbound for like 2 weeks. I couldn't work. If I sat down when I was driving, it was really uncomfortable. When I was laying in bed, it was really uncomfortable as well. And so I had 2 weeks of just laying in bed doing nothing. And yes, I could have been studying languages in that time, and it was a wasted opportunity really. The thing is, it was just so painful, even with painkillers and like exercises and stretches and anything you do. It was just really bad, and I can't even describe how bad it was. I mean, I could barely move, I could barely get out of bed, go to the toilet or anything. So because it was like excruciating back pain, I literally couldn't get out of bed, and because of that I was just in too much pain to even like focus, and I just didn't want to do anything other than trying to sleep. And that's what I did. Basically I was watching YouTube videos and I was sleeping, and so I took a bit of break from doing my languages, from doing YouTube videos and that kind of thing, because I just didn't have like I didn't really have the willpower to do it because I was just in so much pain. And also I lost a little bit of motivation by doing that as well, because I didn't get back into a lazier mindset. Also I had 2 migraines during this period, one just before my back pain really started to become really like painful and unbearable, and then one literally a few days ago, which was like literally a day or two after my back pain had started to basically become as good as it will be. At the moment it's probably about 85 to 90% like okay, still a little bit painful, but right now I'm trying to like strengthen my back. Basically the muscles in my back, they're basically really weak, because whenever I go to the gym or whatever, I never actually focus on my back. I always focus on like legs and arms and whatnot, but never really my back. My back is quite weak in comparison to the rest of my body, and so because of that, yeah, my back doesn't have a lot of strength to like, I guess, reinforce the weight or whatever. I don't really know, but basically right now I'm just trying to like strengthen my back with exercises. I'm slowly trying to like walk again, because I've been back at work now for like 2 days, and obviously it's heavy lifting still, and so it hurts sometimes, depends. But anyway, as I say, my back is okay now and I am slowly strengthening it. And so that was basically like a long-winded way of saying I was in a lot of pain, and in that state I would rather just try and focus on recovery rather than trying to continually study languages every day. And so I just decided to take a bit of a long break, and I'm trying to get back into it. It's not so easy to get back into it all the time, but I'm trying to get back into it. But because of all that, this month has been quite a lazy month. Like every month, I don't bother going back and checking the previous month, but if you watch the previous video, you can see how many hours I spent in each language. My Spanish is the only language really that I've focused on, like way more than the others. My Polish, I haven't really put that much time into it. My Polish, maybe I put in like 10 hours at maximum, and the same with my Japanese and French, and even less really with those languages. But with my Spanish, I put in a decent amount, because I speak every single week at least for an hour or two in Spanish with somebody from Peru, and there's also somebody who is from another country as well, who I sometimes speak to as well. So there's at least a few hours each week that I speak in Spanish with, and that's sort of something that I've forced myself to do, and that helps me when it comes to speaking Spanish. My spoken Spanish, I think, is improving a lot, which I'm really happy about. I've been doing a little bit of like kanji study, you know, with Japanese writing and stuff. I actually got Anki. I really don't like flashcard apps, but I thought I'd give Anki a try because I mean people talk about it and rave about it. So I got Anki. I'm trying it at the moment with basically like the kanji in Japanese, seeing if it will help me learn or recognize these kanjis better. I'll make a video on that at some point in the future. Other than that, I haven't really been doing a lot. Like I did a couple of live streams, and I was hoping to do live streams weekly basis, but sometimes I just have so much going on that it's difficult for me to keep up with that, especially when, you know, again, my back pain and my migraines and everything, it's just difficult to keep up to date with everything. I have so much going on that it was almost impossible for me to keep consistent with every single thing in my life. And languages is definitely one of those things as well. I enjoy doing languages, which is a really good thing, but some weeks it just needs a break to, I don't know, so I feel refreshed, I guess. And that's also why I do other languages as well. I don't even think I've been doing much other languages. I mean, again, I'm not looking at the list, so it's hard for me to remember, but I think in the last month I did a couple live streams that are on live stream anyway of me studying Romanian. Romanian's a big one actually. I don't think I've even spoken about Romanian. Shona, and I can't even remember the last. Finnish. The reason I couldn't remember Shona or Finnish is because I chose those languages in like literally a video or two ago, and again I haven't been studying them because I've just been on a break from languages. It's just been difficult for me to like study any language, and so I've taken a break from all languages, and so I did a stream where I studied Finnish and Shona, and then that was it, nothing else. Obviously, as you see the times on screen, you'll see, yeah, there's not very much in Shona or Finnish. I think Shona is like half an hour, Finnish is like an hour and 40. And then I decided just for 15 minutes to do some British Sign Language. I was really interested in British Sign Language because I've never looked into the sign language, any sign language before, you know? So I've never looked into those languages, or that section of languages, I guess, however you'd phrase it. I've never looked into any kind of sign language, and I have certain reasons why maybe learning British Sign Language in particular would be really useful for me, especially in the future. British Sign Language, I mean, I only did 15 minutes just to have a little like idea of what it's like when, you know, I'm just sort of looking at the basics. But there was some that I like, people use on like a daily basis. Like, I'm pretty sure if I remember, like hi was literally like hi like that, and you know, simple things like that, like people use on a daily basis. But obviously, the more you get into it, the more it's going to be more difficult, I guess, and making sentences and whatever. It's not something I'm focusing on right now, but it was just something I was just purely interested in. I wanted to see what it was like. And so, yeah, I did 15 minutes or so looking at British Sign Language, which in the future, I don't know how far in the future, because there's so many spoken languages I would love to be able to like learn. But at some point, British Sign Language is a language that I would like to like, you know, at least be able to converse in one way or another. But I think it's really useful. Like, there's a lot of people who are hard of hearing, and yeah, I don't know, I just think it's useful, and it's an interesting difference in language. Like, obviously normally I focus on the spoken language, but on, I don't even know what you'd call it, like visual language maybe. Like, it's a completely different concept, and yeah, I don't know, it's just something about it like interests me basically. So I looked into that, and yeah, maybe in the future I'll learn it. I don't know how far in the future. It could be 5 years from now. I'll decide actually now's the time that I want to learn BSL. That is basically it. Romanian, I put in a decent amount of time, like 8 hours something, I think, and the reason for that is because every morning I would listen to a bit of Romanian while I'm like eating breakfast and stuff, and so I'd have my headphones in, listening to some Romanian. That would give me half an hour in, and then I would go on with my day to then continue to listen to my other languages. But it's so much. I ain't gonna lie, like, it's so much when you're constantly listening languages after languages after languages, and you try and do it daily. And I sort of got to this point during this month where I was like, you know what, I just want to focus 100% on my Spanish and do like a small amount of my other languages to maintain them. But really, I want my Spanish to become a lot better, because it's the language I'm like the closest with becoming like a decent level in. And so I just want to improve my Spanish, and other languages like my Polish and that I'm trying to maintain, but right now I'm not trying to actively study them or learn them. That's it for this video, I guess. That's my little update for this video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully I'll be back into making videos soon, now that I'm slowly getting better with no back pain and migraines and anything else. So yeah, we'll see. Thanks for watching. Bye.